Karl Panzram wasn't just a killer. He was a man who seemed to wage war on humanity itself. With a trail of destruction that spanned decades, continents, and prison walls, Panzram confessed to 21 murders and hundreds of assaults. But what truly set him apart was his complete and unapologetic hatred for the human race. Before we get into one of the most terrifying stories in criminal history, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. This is the Crim Vault, and today's case is as bleak as it gets. Early life of rage. Karl Panzram was born in 1891 in Minnesota, the sixth of 7 children in a poor German immigrant family. His childhood was defined by abandonment, abuse, and anger. When he was just 8 years old, his father left the family. By the age of 11, he was already in trouble with the law, stealing food and getting into fights. Soon he was sent to the Minnesota State Training School, a so-called reform institution that turned out to be a place of cruelty. Panzram was regularly beaten, raped, and humiliated there. He later wrote that the experience didn't rehabilitate him. It simply made him more hateful, more violent, and more determined to get revenge on the world that had hurt him. A life of crime begins. As a teenager, Panzram began hopping trains drifting across the United States. He committed burglary, arson, and assault. He joined the army at one point, but was discharged after stealing from the barracks. Over time, his crimes escalated. Panzram broke into the home of former President William H. Taft in 1920 and stole jewelry, bonds, and a pistol, which he later used in several murders. That same year, he traveled to Africa, where he claimed to have murdered 6 men. He also said he lured young boys onto his boat under the promise of work, only to rape and kill them and dump their bodies into the sea. Whether every detail of these claims is true or not, many were verified through police investigations and corroborating accounts. Panzram's own writings described his crimes in chilling, remorseless detail. "I hate the whole damn human race." Karl Panzram wasn't just violent, he was openly proud of it. In letters and confessions, he stated that he felt no regret, no guilt, and no empathy for his victims. One of his most infamous quotes was, "I wish the entire human race had one neck, and I had my hands around it." His hatred wasn't random, it was directed at everyone. He believed society had created him, and in return, he owed it nothing but pain. He raped and murdered with the cold logic of a man who thought he had nothing left to lose. In the 1920s, he was finally arrested and imprisoned after a series of break-ins. But even behind bars, Panzram remained violent and uncontrollable. He attacked guards, threatened fellow inmates, and attempted to escape multiple times. The final killing. While imprisoned at Leavenworth Penitentiary in Kansas, Panzram committed his final known murder. He killed a prison employee, Robert Warnke, with an iron bar. He showed no remorse and reportedly smiled when he described the killing to investigators. This act sealed his fate. Panzram was sentenced to death. When asked if he wanted to appeal, he responded, "I do not believe in man, God, nor devil. I hate the whole damned human race. I hate myself most of all." On September 5, 1930, Karl Panzram was hanged. His final words to his executioner? "Hurry it up, you Hoosier bastard. I could hang a dozen men while you're fooling around." The letters and legacy. Perhaps what makes Karl Panzram's story so haunting isn't just the violence, but the brutal honesty in which he described it. While awaiting execution, he wrote a detailed autobiography with the help of a compassionate prison guard named Henry Lesser. These writings, later compiled and published, provide a chilling window into the mind of a man completely devoid of remorse. He didn't want forgiveness. He didn't blame drugs or insanity. He blamed the cruelty of the world and then chose to become its reflection. His letters describe murders, rapes, and beatings in horrifying detail. But what's perhaps most disturbing is the clarity and intelligence with which he wrote. He wasn't incoherent or rambling. He was articulate, cold, and deliberate. Karl Panzram's life is a study in rage, cruelty, and the consequences of unchecked violence. He was the product of a brutal world, but also someone who chose to embrace that brutality and inflict it back tenfold. While it's tempting to write him off as a monster, his story forces us to ask bigger questions. What happens when someone is so damaged that they turn their pain into hatred? And what responsibility does society bear for creating individuals like Panzram? If you want more stories from the darkest corners of history, subscribe to the Crim Vault. Like the video, leave a comment, and stay tuned, because there's always another story waiting to be told.